Welcome, 20 minutes of strength. Now for this particular session, I'm gonna have two different sets of weights here ready to rock and roll. I suggest the same for you as well. We're gonna be working for a friendly 40 seconds on, 40 seconds off. Our first move, go ahead and grab your heavier set. We're gonna start with the suitcase squat to a march. We're here for 40 seconds in 3, 2, 1. Our feet are hip width apart. We come down for that squat. We come up, we're gonna march right, march left. We come back to that squat, come up, march left, march right. Keep the idea of really bringing those knees up as high as we can. When we are going for that march here, we want to think about kind of staying in the same spot in space. We got 10 seconds here. 40 seconds of rest coming up in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and shake it out. Now, when it comes to strength, we're talking about a protocol here where our rest is just as important as our work. So these 40 seconds on, 40 seconds off, it's an opportunity to really push yourselves in terms of the load that you choose to work with. So for these 20-second sessions, or 20-minute sessions rather, think about how heavy we can go for some of these basic moves. Next up, we got a bent over row. We're going to ask for a 3-second hold at the top, all right? So we're gonna stick with that hinge, elbows are 45 degrees out. Grab those heavier weights in 3, 2, 1. Draw those hips back, row up, hold for 3, 2, 1. Release, drive. These 3-second pauses here at the top, I want you to think about creating tension in not only the rear delt and that back, but also what's happening in that trunk, those glutes. You're in control of those 3 seconds, okay? Halfway point. Keep those abs on the whole ride. Every single initial hold here, we're not allowing any centimeters to shift at all. We are staying really still in those 3 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Shake it out. Now, we're gonna go for a weighted dead bug on this next one. We are going to change this a little bit, and instead of our arms, for example, going behind us, we're going to go left and right with that arm extension. So this is going to drill some anti-rotational components into what we already know from our dead bug. So for my more beginners, you're gonna keep your head firmly planted on the floor. For my more advanced, I want you to hold a crunch for the whole 40 seconds. So we have our lighter pair of dumbbells in hands. We're up, and again, lower back stays flat. Right arm is going to reach out to the side in 3, 2, 1. As you kick the left leg out, right arm reaches out to the side. We come back into midline, the same left arm, right leg. So this weight is going to be pulling you to the right or the left. Your job is to not move at all. As those limbs run away from the midline, focus on keeping that lower back flat to the floor. Woo. Changing just a little bit of that, what we already know from a dead bug, into now some anti-rotational drills. There's gonna be a bit of a learning curve. So be patient with yourself. We have another set of these later. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Shake it out, stand it up. Now, coming up from here, we're gonna go body weight. You have an option here to explore some depth. So we're gonna go for a classic Cossacks. A little bit different than our normal side lunges here. So I don't want us to just stop in this depth of just focusing on where we would normally end in our side lunge. What I want instead is to give me some external rotation off that free leg. Really think about getting that glute as close as you can to that heel, all right? 10 seconds here to rock and roll. Keep the chest up nice and tall. You're gonna slowly reach the arms forward as you sit your hip in towards that right or left side. 3, 2, 1. We're gonna reach those arms forward, externally rotate off that left heel. I'm flat-legged here on that right. I'm gonna push up and over, and I'm gonna switch. Training some depth here, keeping that chest up nice and tall. That arm reach forward is gonna help kind of keep that chest up really tall throughout this movement. And again, if you're not exactly here, I think side lunges are great, all right? We can work on our mobility outside of these strength blocks, of course. But I love kind of mixing this mobility with our strength blocks. We got 4, 3, 2, and 1. Breathe. We're gonna hit that dead bug again. Now, if the weight was just too much for us, we can attempt this obviously without the weight, right? So as we bring that weight out to the right, our trunk is gonna rotate to that open side. We're trying not to let that happen. And on top of that, we're trying not to arch in our lower back. So there's a lot going on. This anti-extension meets anti-rotation, blah, 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 blah. This is a powerful trunk movement, all right? Think of the core as more than just six packs, right? We wanna be able to resist movements just as much as we are able to produce movements. Here we go in 5, 4, 3, tailbone tuck, 2, 1, extend left arm out to the side, right leg reaches forward. And again, if you got it in you, you're gonna hold that crunch the whole time. That brief pause is what I'm looking for. Feel that work. Concentrate on what's happening in that trunk. Pull those ribs down. Keep that tailbone tucked. Relax that neck. Your neck has a tendency to want to take on the role of your abs, of your core. Focus on your breath. Don't squeeze or grit those teeth together here. We got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Shake it out. Roll it up. We got our second set of Cossacks here coming up. All right. Again, focusing on that depth. Wide stance here. Knees and toes are always shifting into the same direction, yeah? We're not gonna allow that knee to travel outwardly from that, our sort of blueprint of where our foot is laying. So in 25 seconds, we got this Cossack, then we get to breathe for 1 minute. We're gonna go for our second round within this 20-minute block, and then get ready for that finisher. That last little bit, it's gonna get a little bit spicy. Here we go in 10. Get that structure. Remember, arms reaching out as we load those hips. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. We're sinking into that right. Externally rotating off to that left heel. Same on the opposite side. Keeping that chest up nice and tall. When you are loading this leg, remember you're staying flat-footed here the whole ride. And if that's too much, we can just simply go into the side lunges. Keep it up. 15 seconds left. We get that 1 minute recovery here. In 4, 3, 2, 1. Shake it out. All right, breathe. So we're gonna go into some deadlifts now. Now, here's the deal. We're gonna find a pause at the end of our deadlift, at the bottom of our deadlift. What I'm looking for when that happens is I want you to think about irradiating tension through the trunk and the glutes. How we think about that. One of my favorite cues is when we go to the bottom of our deadlift, imagine you could push the floor away from the body. That's gonna light up those glutes and those hamstrings. Imagine you could break those dumbbells. That's gonna light up those lats. And imagine someone's gonna kick you in the stomach. That's gonna light up that core. I want you to find glutes, hamstrings, lats, core at the bottom of this deadlift and concentrate on it for 3 seconds, all right? 40 seconds on, 40 seconds off. We're laying down after that for chest press. So grab some heavy weights, all right? Get ready to rock and roll. Weights are going to be in front of the body, shoulders packed back and down. Turn those pinkies inward just a little bit. In 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Hold at the bottom for 3. Push the floor away from each other for 2. 1, exhale, tss, press. Tss. Strong pauses for those 3 seconds. Your job is to irradiate that tension there at the bottom. Right here, I've got nothing but glutes, abs, and lats. Tss. Exhaling as my hips go into that extension. Tss. My neck is moving with the rest of my spine too, by the way. Let's go. I love that sharp exhale, by the way. Keep at it. 4, 3, 2, 1. Shake it out. We're coming down to the floor. Woo! The bend and snap works every time. We have our chest press coming up now. For the chest press, it doesn't get more classic than this. Go heavy here today. This 20-minute block is here for you to just get used to moving some nice weight around. You're working for 40 seconds, you're resting for 40 seconds. This is one of those workouts where the load and your intention behind the movement is gonna be really important. So 10 seconds out. We got 40 seconds here. Easy tempo here. We got 1 down, 1 up. We start in 5. Weights in hands. 4, 3, bent knees, 2, 1. Let's go, down and up. We don't let those elbows bounce off the ground. I don't mind the little rib flare here for these. Nice, think about that exhale as you press. Woo, 20 seconds here. All right, we're coming up to that 40-second recovery in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's not overcomplicate our chest press here. Aiming for some volume, that's what I'm looking for. All right, now I'm gonna give you what I geek out about. So we went from supinated anti-rotation with the dead bugs, now we're gonna go pronated. What that means is we're gonna still challenge the core to not rotate, but now we're gonna do it from our high plank position. So we're gonna go to shoulder taps, but we're gonna pause for 3 seconds. So when our right hand taps our left shoulder, we're gonna stay still for 3 seconds. Left hand taps our right shoulder, stay still for 3 seconds. We're trying not to rock those hips. We got 10 seconds here to rock and roll. Get ready in 7. Wide stance with those legs. About a little bit wider than the hips. 3, 2, and 1. Right hand to left shoulder for 3, 2, 1. Left hand to right shoulder for 3, 2, and 1. Now, if this is too difficult, modify that plank. Drop to those knees. Keep that core on the whole ride. Keep those shoulders over those wrists. I want that 3-second pause though. So however which way you can find it, get there now. If it's in that high plank, love to see it. The closer your feet are towards each other, the more that core is gonna have to work to try not to rotate. 10, woo. We got 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Shake it out. We gotta do it again. We gotta do it again. Second set here coming up. Then we rest for 1 minute. We get to that dirty stuff coming up. We go right back to that deadlift again. Woo! Second set here, best set. Radiating tension throughout that body, yeah? Glutes, hamstrings. If you're phoning this in right now, you're like, oh, I'm so tired of hearing this guy talk. I get it, I definitely get it. But on this second set, try to at least add the idea of pushing your feet away from each other at the bottom of that deadlift. I want you to feel how those glutes kind of light up. Here we go in 7. Here we go, shoulders packed. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. Keep those abs on the whole ride. All 4 corners of the seat are still drilling into the floor, but I'm imagining I could push the floor away from each other. Lighting up those glutes, that 3-second pause. We're at our halfway point here. And remember, keep those abs on like we're about to get kicked in the stomach, like someone's about to sneak up behind us and just sort of jab us in that trunk. We got 10 seconds. Let's go, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Shake it out. Coming down to the floor here. We're gonna go back into that chest press. We're gonna add just a wee bit of rotation at the top. So as you come in, I want you to press up and squeeze those weights together, all right? Same kind of rules apply. So the idea of like the tension that you were able to achieve at the end of your deadlift, I want you to find the tension in the chest. I want you to feel like you're flexing the chest at the end of that press as you rotate those weights in, yeah? Get ready. Almost there. We got about 12 seconds here to rock and roll. And then we get a nice little break and we go to our finishers here. Weights are up. 4, 3, 2, 1, let's go. So rotate those weights in and face each other and squeeze that chest. Come back out. Woo. Keep this going here. Taking the time to really connect those weights at the top, creating as much tension as possible. 10 seconds. We're not bouncing off the ground with those elbows. 4, 3, 2, 1. Shake it out. All right, we're going back over into our high planks here. Those shoulder taps with those 3-second pauses. I can't wait till we get to that finisher here, because then we kind of could put everything together. And that sweat maybe that you're craving, that little like, I just want to work hard without recovery. Some of us out there are like that, by the way. This is your moment to shine after this move. So 18 seconds away, concentrate on those 3-second pauses, break for 1 minute. We work hard for the finisher, and then your 20-minute block is done. Here we go, in 5. High plank position, tailbone tucked. It's the same position you were in your dead bug. 3, 2, 1, tap, hold, 3, 2, 1. Tap, hold, 3, 2, 1. Also great for shoulder stability here, pelvic stability. Those 3-second pauses go a long way. Keep the tension on the trunk. Remember, knees, love to see it. Love a modification here. But we're only modifying once our form starts to slip, right? 15 more seconds here. We're not modifying when we get uncomfy. Let's bring it back up if we can. 7, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Shake it out. All right, we made it. This is where shit gets hard. We're coming down for that squat press, coming up for 80 seconds, all right? From there, without letting those weights go, we got deadlifts to bent over row at the bottom. From there, we're gonna come down to the floor, and we're gonna go from our hyperextension rotations. So now we're gonna purposely rotate, and not only our extension, but also our flexion of the trunk. Blah, 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 blah. I geek out about this because I get excited when things just tell a whole story. I like a story. I like a beginning, I like a middle, and I like an end. So we got our squat press coming up. Think about it as like we had our appetizers, we had our entrees. Now it's time for the just desserts. 20 seconds here. You've got 2 different dumbbells here, so there's no excuses to not keep going, essentially, right? We got our squat presses coming up. Grab your weights now. Bring them into that high rack position. We go off in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're gonna hit that same squat. Now we're gonna go for that overhead press. Squat, overhead press. Let's go. Squat, overhead press. Keep it going. Now, we are here for 80 seconds. However, the last 20, we're gonna just march. Keep this up. As we go from the bottom, we're gonna transition that power, that effort to that overhead. Exhaling with that hip extension. Biceps shoot by those ears. Ribs are staying down. We're gonna stay in this high rack position here coming up. Almost there, keep it up. 20 more seconds here before we march. Woo! Keep those squats going. In 10 seconds, we're going straight to those marches for 20. 5, 4, stay in that high rack position. 3, 2, march. 20 seconds. As one leg punches into the floor, the opposite leg shoots up. Elbows are narrow and off the ribs. We're staying in a perfect plank position. We're not hinging forward or back. You got this in 5, 4, 3, 2, no break. Weights by the hips. Deadlift, row, straight arms, stand. Deadlift, row, straight arm, stand. Woo! Keep this going. This is a whole posterior chain light up. We get to lay on that stomach after this. Keep this up. We got about 45 seconds on the clock. It's 1 and 1. So now all those cues about learning the tension points at the end of our deadlift, apply that here. Have those abs on, protect the back as we go for that row. Keep this up. We get to lay on that stomach after this. We're gonna go for some rotational hyperextensions coming up in 20. Woo! It's our final 80 seconds in 15. Big push here. We were not trying to produce rotation, and now I wanna see rotation. 4, 3, 2, lose the weights. Bring it down to the floor quick like. Fingertips by those ears. Left elbow rotates open as we extend the right heel. Right elbow rotates open as we extend the left. Move from that hip. Eyes are following those elbows. Ten seconds. Three, two, one. Quick transitions. Guys, get on the butt. Legs together, grab your weight. We're going right to that Russian twist. Belly button is moving with the motions here. Tapping that weight on either side. Now, if you've got this ability, see if you can lift those heels open. What I don't want to see is those hips shifting side to side. Squeeze and hold and maintain that rotation just in that trunk. 10. We got this in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Throw those weights away. 20 minutes is up. I don't know what you have planned next, but I know you may have a little bit more in you. I'll see you guys again real soon.